news coming in. Senior officials have now rushed to the investigation site. NIA has begun investigation into the attack that has been seen, the drone attack, and senior officials are now at the investigation site to find out more details about the Pak drone attack. Yes, we are getting you these latest details and we'll also try and get you pictures, but the NIA has now begun investigation. Remember, NIA has arrived at the Air Force Base in Jammu where the twin blasts were reported at the Air Force Station in Jammu. Region 1 Air Force personnel has reportedly been injured in these blasts, which occurred in a gap of 5 minutes. 2 suspects have been arrested. Meanwhile, the NIA and the NSG's National Bomb Data Center is en route. The site of explosion, we're getting details. They have just reach the investigation site. Our guests continue to be with us on the broadcast. I'd once again like to welcome Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh. He is with us on the broadcast. Sir, what do you make of this attack? Where has the lapse been and what needs to be done
now? In fact, I would say that this is a serious security lapse and a breach. And this has initiated a new chapter in warfare of the drone usage for attacking. In fact, I would say that after the initial investigation has been done, already the forensic teams are on the ground. But definitely looking at the environment, the needle of suspicion definitely points towards Pakistan side, because the environment is such at the moment that we recently had a very successful and historic meeting of the Prime Minister with the J&K leaders, which has absolutely spooked and left Pakistan aghast. But it needs to be investigated a little. And this place is pretty close to the LOC in Jammu area. So therefore, it needs to be pointed out. Investigation will point out. But at the same time, one thing is definite that what we saw in Armenia, Azerbaijan, and also saw in the conflict between Israel and the Hamas, the same thing has got reflected. You would recall that earlier Pakistan has been using these drones for dropping weapons, but using it for such
Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, I really apologize for having to interrupt you, sir, but Colonel Rohit Dev is also with us on the phone line. If I can quickly get details from him on this attack and what you make of the timing. How is India now approaching this matter? And for our viewers, breakdown who don't understand issues of national security, what next?
Hi, good morning to you and the viewers. I think this attack is a premeditated attack. It's just a trial. It's a trial in making, and the trial, as far as the Pakistanis are concerned, have been successful. The use of Indian soil and illegal elements within is the reason in which the NIA, I'm quite sure, will come out in a few days' time. And we need to be very much on the guard because the last about 8 to 10 years, with the influx of the Rohingyas in the Jammu region, the national security threat has only got enhanced. And if this is not taken as a bull by the horns, I'm quite afraid there will be a lot of national security issues rising up near the IB sector, so-called the working boundary with Pakistan by then, and also the LC. Insofar as this attack is concerned, I'm quite sure we need to have a better and more robust system as a response mechanism, and the polity and the military should be on the same page 100% here on to make sure that any intrusion into the Indian space, especially along the IB sector, has to be taken as violation of peace, violation of our sovereignty and integrity of our country. It has to be retaliated with. It cannot be an observation for too long a time and investigations. I can understand the LC sector is a little more viable and fertile for actions and reactions. But along the IB sector, and I've been saying it for the longest time, that in the summer periods, our indirect fire weapon systems, whether it's the artillery or the Air Force, should be on high alert. We talk about mobilization of 6 hours time to intrude into Pakistan. We don't have to cross the boundary. But this indirect weapon system should be on the go. I had a talk with the DGM about 3.5 or 4 years back, and I said exactly that. This provoking in the sector of RS Pura by Pakistani firing, now the drones, is something which is going to continue and escalate, and there cannot be a plausible deniability because the flight path and the pickup of the drone is very certain. It can be picked up. So we need to enhance the systems along the IB. The BSF force need to be having better systems of catching these drones flight paths, and we should be able to nail Pakistan on this. And I don't think that we need to be more cautionary than this. The diplomatic angle should be astute, and I say it with a lot of conviction. We have made it clear to Pakistan that you being a terrorist state, we will not talk to you. It has to be, after Uri and Balakot, a pronounced kind of a philosophy which is known to the world, that if you're going to strike our military assets, the VAs and VPs, or you're going to strike the civil habitat of our country along the IB, the retaliation is going to be there. And I can just beseech the government of the day and the current forces which may be commanded by the chiefs and the CDS to be a little more proactive on this account. And we cannot wait and go into a reactionary thinking mechanism. If a violation happens, the response mechanisms should be robust and it should come up automatically here on. And that is a signaling a stronger nation must be able to give to a weak state like Pakistan, a failed state like Pakistan. And there is no point talking about how they are timing it. They can time it any which way they want to. You're already in the month of June. The infiltration has been, curtailed. There are ringleaders who are again in our country and trying to hide as OGWs or otherwise have been nailed and killed. 275 killings in the last 1.5 years. They are weak. They are weak on the ground. And if they are trying to show that a drone attack can deter the Indian state from a retaliation, I think that is a mistake they are making, and it's good they are making at this time, because the government of the day must be able to be a little more stronger and to be able to pinpoint and hit them on the head hard this time. And as we go forward, the only thing is, these passive measures we take with our civil population, basically in the Araspura sector and NIA and all those places, we need to continue this season as well. However, I would simply urge that 2 drones flying into our country should be taken as violation of the IB, should be taken as a terrorist attack if conducted internally through the enemy, and adequate response must be given. We can't be thinking more than this. We should be absolutely robust and astute in terms of military, and diplomacy. 100% now to go on, and all citizens must understand this.